Hey everybody, this is Strong Style Studios again, coming at you with another New Japan review. I'm Justin, the Orange Dream.
I'm the champion, Alex, and I think I'm probably the longest reigning champion at this point.
Probably,
because,
there haven't been too many lengthy title reigns.
Well, I'm just so good at what I do.
So this is the New Beginning show. They had a two-part show. One was in Hiroshima, and the other was in Osaka, I believe. And so this is, we start out with night one. So we had El Desperado and Jushin Thunder Liger versus Bushi and Kota Ibushi. I guess I will tell you about this a little bit. This was just a fun opener, I thought it worked well for what it did on the card. I'm kind of a mark for Jushin Liger, so I might have enjoyed this more than some people. I just thought it was a solid opener. I
thought it was solid too. I mean, Desperado did pretty nice at showcasing what he did. They did a nice job of kind of teasing the match between him and Ibushi. Liger's great. Bushi, I wasn't too hot on. He wasn't bad.
He's pretty average. He's kind of just there. Yeah. The match he's in.
So. But it was fun.
Rating? I give this 2 3/4.
I went 2 3/4.
We're in agreement then.
Yeah.
Match 2, we had Tama Tonga versus Minoru Suzuki. Do you want to take this one?
So this match began with Tama Tonga attacking Suzuki. Suzuki got the advantage, beat the shit out of him, and then dropped him on his head with a pile driver. And that was about it.
That was the match, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I thought this was okay. I thought this was short, but I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was good for the time it was given and for that it was a squash. But
if this was I was kind of hoping that this was going to be the match that starts the Suzuki's next big singles run or whatever.
Yeah.
Hasn't looked like that way, but maybe I could be wrong. But this was just it was a fun squash because Suzuki's just so good at being a dick. So it was fun.
I gave it 2 stars, maybe overrating a little bit, but
yeah, I want a star.
Yeah. Not kind of pointless, but anyway.
Yeah.
So next we had Yano and Iizuka versus Sakuraba and Nagata. This was another match I didn't understand what they were doing here. It's kind of like we don't have anything for Nagata and Sakuraba to do, which they haven't really been doing anything with them all along. But
the best thing Sakuraba has done is that match with Nakamura. That's it. Oh, and the tag team match with him and Shibata versus Nagata and Goto.
I don't know. This team isn't really helping either guy either. They haven't been going up against good opponents. They just seem to be directionless. This was another match I just didn't understand what the point was.
It was boring as shit, and the finish was terrible.
Very typical Yano Iizuka match, but maybe even worse than normal, I would say.
I hate that. I hate Yano and Iizuka. I fucking hate that. Yano's not bad. He's pretty good by himself because he can be funny, but just
he's a good heel, not a very good wrestler.
No.
Yeah. And Iizuka, I don't understand what.
Yano's almost like a Chikara villain in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I give it a 1.5 stars.
I give it a star.
Not very good. So then it really started to
this fucking
descend into some dark places with Tenzan versus Michael Tarver, who apparently still wrestles, and he's wrestling in a pretty big wrestling company.
Apparently he still sucks.
Yes, he does.
This match was fucking terrible. This was
awful.
This was a match where I literally think there was only 2 or 3 actual wrestling moves.
Yeah.
Tarvin is still the fucking worst wrestler of all time. He's terrible. He botched a move and busted open Tenzan really badly. And then he gave the shittiest knockout punch I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They
had to sell it like it was good.
God, it made Roman Reigns' worst Superman punch look like the biggest punch ever. Made it look like an MMA knockout.
Made Big Show's punches look way better.
This is probably the worst match of the year up until Anderson Shaw from TNA Lockdown. This was fucking terrible.
Yeah, it didn't really touch that, but for New Japan, this is unacceptable.
Oh my god, it's terrible.
With how many good people they have on the roster, there's no reason for Tarver.
For all the good people that they have over in the U.S. they could bring over. They bring fucking Tarver.
Tenzan's not, he's definitely on the downswing of his career, but, he's a veteran, and he can, if he can't carry you to a good match, you're useless. So
I give it 1/2 star.
Yeah, I give it 3/4 star, but it was bad news.
Yeah.
So next we had another match that no one really cared about. Satoshi Kojima, I believe defending his NWA title against Big Daddy Yum Yum. With a name like that, he's not going to be
the greatest fucking wrestling name of all time.
Yeah, this guy's I don't know why they. This is a really. At least Tarver's big and looks like something. Big Daddy Yum Yum.
And he has some credibility to his name, because he was a WWE guy.
That's even a stretch, but Big Daddy Yum Yum, he oversells everything. He has no good offense.
His selling of Kojima's chops was the greatest thing ever. He looked like he was fucking drowning.
Yeah, this was like Shawn Michaels on crack.
Versus like Hogan.
On lots of crack, like Rick James crack.
Yeah. I just thank God it was Kojima in the ring because like the crowd was actually into it. But like Big Daddy Yum Yum just did nothing of value in this match.
No.
I mean, he just looked super green and just this was terrible.
Yeah. I gave this one a star.
I gave it a star as well.
So next we had Tomohiro Ishii and Yujiro Takahashi against Naito and Honma. I thought this was kind of a basic match, but solid. You've got 4 guys in there who are all pretty good, but this is kind of nothing match. They didn't put in their best stuff, but it was just kind of solid work. It was about on par with most New Japan tag matches, I would say.
Yeah, it was pretty forgettable. It was just there. Wasn't really that bad. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great.
It was mainly just to build up, Ishii and Naito for the next night. So they obviously saved a lot of their crazy shit for the match the next night. Yeah. But I thought this was good for what it was. I gave it 2 3/4.
Me too.
Okay, so next we had the Bullet Club, and you said it was...
It was Devitt Fale and...
The Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks.
Against Alex Shelley, Kushida, Ryusuke Taguchi, and Togi Makabe.
Yeah.
I thought this was quite a good match, actually. I guess I'll let you...
Yeah, I just thought this match I think it was designed to sell the story of these 3 feuds going on, and I think it did well. Everyone just played off each other well, and it was just very fun. It was a good way to build up the feud. So, very nice. I give it 3.
I gave this 3 1/4. Yeah, okay. I mean, it was just kind of one of those classic everyone gets their shit in type matches.
But it was fun.
So next we had Hiroki Goto and Katsuyori Shibata versus Kazuchika Okada and Yoshihashi. This was actually way better than I expected, honestly, because I'm not a huge fan of Yoshihashi. The team of him and Okada is kind of a weird...
Yeah.
It's like the most random guy to team Okada with on the roster. But I actually thought this match was really good. I thought this was the second best match of the show.
It actually was.
I don't know. It's just so much fun to watch Okada work with 2 guys the caliber of Goto and Shibata. I mean, they actually had a story to this match. They actually had some nasty stuff in this match, as you would expect. Anytime Shibata's in a match, there's going to be somebody's going to get hurt.
I'm loving the team of Goto and Shibata. I think they're great.
I do too.
They work very, very well, and some of the tag team sequences they did were great. I kind of like the story of Yoshihashi, like realizing like he's underclassed in this match, and like kind of like trying to like go out there and like show that hey, I can hang with you guys too.
He did a good job of taking the heat segment.
Oh yeah, and like I like that he was like kind of almost like the aggressor in this match. Like he wanted to prove himself.
Yeah.
And so I enjoyed this, and that like finishing streak sequence was awesome, and just a lot of really cool spots in this match.
Yeah, I gave this 3 3/4, so very good match.
I went 3 1/2.
Since we had the Bullet Club again, we had Anderson and Gallows against KES. Killer Elite Squad, Davey Boy Smith Jr. and Lance Archer.
Yeah.
I guess I'll talk about this one. I thought this was a little disappointing, just because KES. I figured they would work pretty well with these teams. Like it's 4 pretty big guys, so that's kind of what made it a little awkward, I think. These teams probably work a little better with guys who were more of a clash of styles.
Yeah.
These guys were These teams were too similar, I think, to really work, because. Both of them had like the worker guy who's like Davey Boy Smith Jr. and Carl Anderson.
Which they had a pretty nice sequence.
They did. Yeah. I just expected better.
I like both teams. I think they've both got a nice dynamic. I think KES are great, just monsters, and I really wish that like they did get more exposure in the U.S. because I think they're just these great big powerhouse dudes. And I think Anderson and Doc are really good about playing these dickhead heels. So it had a nice dynamic, but I've certainly seen both teams do better. And I think it was good, but it's not at the quality I think that New Japan wants it to be.
Yeah, I agree with that. I give this 2 3/4.
I went 3.
All right, then we had that was for the tag team championship.
Yes.
IWGP Tag Team Championship. So then we had for the Intercontinental Championship a rematch of Wrestle Kingdom main event. We had Hiroshi Tanahashi defending his recently won title against Shinsuke Nakamura. Alex, what do you think of this?
This was slightly better than their Wrestle Kingdom match. I think the Wrestle Kingdom match was like kind of like a WWE style match, where just like a lot of big stuff.
Yeah.
This one was more of like classic New Japan, like where it's like everything was like a lot of great counters, a lot of great false finishes. The crowd was super hot for this match. It's just everything they did really clicked, I think, and I think these two teams are two guys.
Two guys. Yeah. They're basically teams.
Yeah, they're really great together, and I just love like the countering and the familiarity with all with everything they do, and like the fast-paced nature of the match was everything was really good with this match. Yeah. It didn't quite hit that like super next level, but it was a super fun match though.
I pretty much agree with everything you said. I thought they built off their Wrestle Kingdom match, kind of built off sequences they had in that match. Yeah. You got the sense these guys knew each other really well. The pace, you mentioned the pacing. That's what I thought was the strongest part of this match. The pacing was excellent from start to finish. Consistent pace from start to finish, very fast. I mean, not like, like flying around, but for the match of its length, the pacing was appropriate. Yeah. Yeah, I thought this was definitely an improvement over the previous match. I gave this 4.5.
I gave it 4 1/4. Same rating I gave the other one, but this one's like a slight.
Yeah, I give the same rating to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Overall, though, I gave this show a 7.
Yeah, I'll go 7.25. But there was a stretch that, probably because I like the main event a little better than you did, but there was a stretch there that was
the first like 5 matches are all skippable.
Pretty much, yeah. And there's only really 2 matches I would say go out of your way to see here.
Yeah.
Even then, it's kind of borderline. But so we go on to night 2.
Yes, we do.
So first we had a match that I was very interested to see. We had the Time Splitters of Kushida and Alex Shelley against the Young Bucks, the champions of every company they've ever been in.
Champions of the fucking world.
Yeah.
The greatest tag team in the world, the mother effing Young Bucks.
I thought this was a really good opener. Maybe a little better than most Time Splitters openers, but yeah, this was just a lot of fun. I mean, like,
yeah, it was fun.
First of all, it was just so cool to see like these teams like.
They had a good pace. It was just for me. It was just like it was kind of like every other opener that New Japan has had, but it was just like a little bit better because it was the Bucks and and Alex Shelley.
They really built towards a great finishing sequence down the stretch. So like the last couple minutes were outstanding.
I agree.
So I give this 3 1/4. I thought this was very good.
Oh, actually, I would actually went 3.5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a very good match, good opener. Next, we had interesting match. We had Shibata versus Yoshihashi. I guess I will discuss this. This was oddly short. Don't know why it was on the card. Just kind of it seemed like at this point they were building towards Shibata going after Okada. That's why he's beating up his friend, and that has not yet materialized. So this is really. It wasn't bad, but it was just so short that like
it was kind of like the Suzuki match from the first night. It was fun for what was there, but it was just really short to be anything more than a squash.
Yeah, I mean it was a fun squash because Shibata's just kicking the shit out of him. But
he's brutal.
Even in a short nothing match, he's still gonna put a hurting on you. He's like, there's no taking it easy from Shibata.
He will kick the shit out of you.
I give it a 1.5.
I went 2.
You can skip it.
I went a 1.5 as well.
Okay. So next we had I can just put Bullet Club, but this was Bullet Club of.
This was who was in the other team?
It was Suzuki Gun. It was
I think it was. It was Anderson, Gallows, and Tamatonga.
Yeah. So it's Suzuki Gun team of it was
Suzuki and KES.
KES, yep. Okay. Do you want to talk about this match?
This was fine for what it was there. Anderson and Suzuki had a great sequence in this match, and that was probably the best part of the match. Other than that, it was fine. I think these like 6 guys work pretty well together, but it didn't really have that much time, so it didn't really get to go to that next level. So I gave it 2.5.
Yeah, this match just seemed to have a reason to put these guys on the card. Kind of. I don't want to say went through the motions because that's kind of harsh, but they kind of just put on a basic match that kind of advanced, a story. But I give this 2 1/4.
Okay.
What did you give it?
2.5.
2.5. Okay. Next we had Ryusuke Taguchi, Togi Makabe versus Prince Devitt and Bad Luck Fale. I guess I will talk about this again. This is just another match to advance kind of what was going on between Makabe and Fale had been feuding, and then Devitt and Taguchi had been feuding
since last year, actually.
Yeah, this was mainly to advance Taguchi and Devitt's feud. So while they were in there, I would say while Devitt and Taguchi were interacting, that was good. Like the build up to their feud was good. You got the sense Taguchi's like out for revenge. Kind of showed a different side to him. Yeah. In some ways than you normally see. I didn't think this match was all that spectacular. It was kind of just to build up to the future.
Copy and paste what I said about the last match. It was just it was feud building. It was good, but it wasn't great. It wasn't long enough to be anything more than just good.
Yeah,
2.5 as well.
2.5. Okay, next we had Tenkoji versus the team of Michael Tarver and Big Daddy Young Young.
Yeah, this was an absolutely fucking nothing match. I mean, this was more brawling, less wrestling. It was dull as shit. And God, I fucking hated this match. Never bring these two guys back to New Japan again. I think I gave this half a star.
I gave it a star, but
okay, maybe I gave it a star. I don't remember. I don't have it written down.
Yeah, this man, I don't even know what to think about this. It was just so very sloppy. There was several times when you felt their communication was off. At least that's what I seemed to gather from it. It seemed like these teams just weren't in sync at all, and it's probably just because Tarver and Young Young are just that stupid and don't know how to wrestle.
Probably.
But yeah, I mean, it was kind of fun because the crowd was behind Tenkoji and stuff. But, yeah. I mean, the pacing was pretty good, but like it was very
too much brawling. I hate brawling so much.
Yeah, just a very sloppy, poorly structured match, I would say. I gave it a star.
Okay. Then
we go even further down from that. We have the Gracies, who graced us with their presence again. Again, Daniel and Rolex Gracie against Sakuraba and Nagata. Again, putting Sakuraba and Nagata in a position to fail.
Okay, I want to talk about this match first. I absolutely hated the Wrestle Kingdom match. I will be the first to admit that this match was actually a little bit better than their Wrestle Kingdom match because when they were actually doing like the counter submission stuff, it actually worked out pretty well, and they had a little bit more of a real hatred in this match. I think it seemed more tense and more like we want to fight you. So and again, like the fake MMA stuff that they were doing in the match actually worked because they were like doing counters and submissions and actually doing pretty nicely. So this was slightly better than their New Japan match, which isn't saying much.
I actually felt this was
Wrestling match.
Yeah, I felt this was actually kind of on par with that match, which is not good. I just felt like it was kind of the same match. They maybe did a few things differently, but the match had very much the same dynamic as the previous matches. We've seen it. We don't need to see it again.
No.
I gave this half a star.
I went star and a quarter. I give the first one a star.
Yeah. So next we had Shinsuke Nakamura and Yujiro Takahashi against Jushin Liger and Hiroshi Tanahashi. This match was kind of I don't know. It was fun. Like everyone in the match worked well together. This was kind of, I guess they're still going with Tanahashi and Nakamura's feud, but Liger entertained me a lot in this match. I thought he was the most fun for me watching this match personally. He looks pretty good.
Yeah, he looks good.
Age. Yeah, I mean, for where it was on the card, and considering they just done the big match with these guys the previous night, I thought this was an acceptable follow-up.
Yeah, it was fun. It was you're never gonna get a bad match when you got Tanahashi and Nakamura in the match and Liger. You know. So it was fun for what was there, and again, it was much like every other match on this card. It was good, but it just didn't get enough time to be anything but good.
Right. I give this 3.
I gave it 3.
Okay, so next we had Kota Ibushi versus El Desperado, and this was for the
IWGP Junior
Heavyweight title.
I enjoyed this for the most part. It's just it never really kicked into high gear until like near the end, and Desperado's all right. He's not the best opponent, but he's turned out horrible. It was just good. I've seen Ibushi have way better matches, but it just it was good. It wasn't anything more than that.
I thought this was pretty good actually. Okay. I was impressed. I mean, it didn't really ever kick into high gear, but it was very solid throughout. There was a lot of cool stuff they did throughout. They had pretty good chemistry for not
I think so.
Working together.
So too.
What'd you give this?
Oh, what'd you give it?
I gave it 3 1/4.
I went 3 1/4 as well.
Oh, so we're in agreement.
Okay.
Anyway.
Then we get the good match.
Now we're getting into something good, finally. Something really good.
Yeah.
We had Tomohiro Ishii going after Tetsuya Naito's Never Openweight Championship, and I guess I will discuss this match
first.
This was awesome. This is my match of the year so far. These guys had unbelievable chemistry. These guys actually wrestled each other every day for years. Yeah. The counters were just phenomenal. Naito, for as much shit as he got at the beginning of the match, like the crowd was kind of against him, booing him, or not reacting. By the end of the match, they were reacting to everything he did because he was just that impressive. And obviously Ishii, he's one of the best.
Yeah, he is. Like Osaka loves this dude. I think everyone does.
So
Osaka really loves him.
Crowd was red hot. They were buying all kinds of. There's so many false finishes, and the crowd was buying them. I think my only criticism, I think they did too many at the end. After I think it should have ended a little bit before it did.
I can see that.
But that's kind of a small criticism. Overall, this match was just amazing. Like, I was buying every finish when I was watching it, and
This for me was one of those matches where the guys necessarily didn't do anything hugely amazing, but just the crowd was just into everything they did, that it made it that next level. You know, they were wrestling very nicely. Just Ishii just basically telling, getting hit by Naito and just to go like, come on, what else you got? Like basically, mocking him and like encouraging him to bring it on, like, fight on. Everything was great, and then it was kicked into high gear. I mean, these near falls were insane. I mean, they had it down to the millisecond, right with that king out. They had that down perfectly, and this crowd just going crazy for Ishii to get those near falls. I mean, this is an example of a crowd making a match that much better.
But I mean, even if the crowd wasn't that great, this still would have been a great match.
But it was like this could have been like, in front of a bad crowd, this would have still been a really great match, but the crowd took it to that next level, I think.
This might not be an apt comparison because the match I'm comparing to is better.
Yeah.
But I think it reminded me kind of Elgin and Davey. Just how they had so much near falls that the crowd was just buying, and that's what made the match so good.
It starts out slow, and then like all of a sudden it hits that moment where the crowd just like totally gets into everything they're doing, and it goes to that next level.
Yeah.
And that's a great example.
And you never knew when this match was going to end. It was
well-deserved win for Ishii, and just again, this guy is an amazing seller. I mean, every time this guy takes a bump, he acts like he broke his neck.
Yeah, but it's at the same time it's believable. It's not like cartoony selling.
Exactly. It's like he'll take a bump and like just like grab his neck and like be like actually like looks like he's in pain, and it's totally believable. Amazing talent over in that guy. I give this 4 3/4, nearly 5 stars.
Yeah, I agree. This is my match of the year, must-see match.
Oh, absolutely.
For everybody out there. I think you can enjoy this even if you're not really into New Japan that much, because I think you can appreciate the craziness of this match.
Exactly.
It's action-packed, so
crazy.
It's not like a typical like championship match where it's kind of slow and feeling out process.
No, they get right into the crazy.
This is wall-to-wall action. Yeah. Okay, so then we had the main event. We had Kazuchika Okada defending his IWGP Heavyweight Championship against Hiroki Goto. And first of all, Okada entered with a giant sword and a dinosaur, a T-Rex.
Automatically,
why not? But it was freaking awesome. It sounds stupid. It kind of was silly, but it was amazing. It was officially like, okay, Okada's like the coolest dude in wrestling now.
He's just like walking out there like zero fucks given.
He's like, yeah, I got a big ass sword. There's a dinosaur with me. I don't give a fuck.
It made no sense, but it's like, fuck it, why not?
It's Japan, and please never change Japan. Just never.
I love
change.
Japan. They're great.
So yeah, I guess I'll let you talk about this.
Okay. This was a really, really great match. I like the idea that this was a basic match of like Okada was the better wrestler, but Goto was just, thanks to his matches with Shibata and being basically beaten to hell by Shibata, he was the better fighter.
Yeah.
And that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to outfight Okada, and like that's how he was able to get the advantage on him. And they had some great counters. I mean, these guys really do work well together. They had a really good match at the New Japan Cup last year, which I really enjoyed.
Yep.
I love this. I like Goto like using the Shibata punt, whatever.
Yeah.
So I liked him like basically like taking stuff that he's learned from Shibata and trying to beat Okada with it. I really like that. It was a very simple storyline, but it was worked. And the finishing of this match was fucking insane.
Yes.
I mean, god damn, man. Incredible.
The finish elevated it.
Absolutely. I mean, amazing match. Really, really great. I'd probably say this is probably one of the better. I don't know if bear in mind this goes last year, but like this probably be one of the better Okada title matches I've seen from his reign this year or from last year.
Yeah, this was about exactly what I expected from these guys.
Okay,
but that's not.
No,
that's not a criticism.
I said this is like a typical Okada main event, which is like by no means a complaint. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
Yeah.
These guys worked super well together. I thought they played their roles very well.
Yeah.
They weren't like clearly defined roles in terms of like obviously Goto was supposed to be more of the good guy, but
yeah.
I like how Okada, even though he's like the heel champion, he's still controls a lot of his matches. You can tell he's, like you said, he's the better wrestler. So like so many times in wrestling, I think the heel champion is just a coward. He doesn't control the matches, and I just really liked the story that Alex touched on in this match. I thought it had a great build up to a disgusting finish.
Yeah, God.
This just felt like a typical great New Japan Championship match.
Absolutely.
I gave it 4 1/4.
I went 4 1/4 as well.
So yeah,
what do you give it overall?
I'd say this was a little better than the show the night before.
I would say it's a lot better than the show.
The last 3 matches were all very good.
Yeah. I think they shouldn't have made this 2 shows. They should have made it 1 show and just put Tanahashi and Nakamura on this show.
Yeah.
And get rid of the other match.
Yeah, I think 2 shows kind of dilutes the quality too much.
I agree.
Between the shows.
I gave this 8.5.
8.5.
Or 8.25. Sorry.
I would go 7.75.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd go a little lower, but
I really like the last 2 matches. So.
Yeah, I really liked him. I just thought there was too much crap to get to the good stuff.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All right, that's our review. I would say check out the matches we mentioned that were really good.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to watch these whole shows, but there's some good stuff on here and some stuff you should not watch.
Yeah. Avoid.
Yeah.
Take care.
We'll see ya.